This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Hello and welcome to Headlines Now on NDTV Hindu. As the MCA exams of the Madras University is cancelled for the second consecutive day with the leakage of question papers exposed by NDTV Hindu, we continue to probe the issue and ask the larger question, what this means to the education system you are a part of. I'm Ramanathan, and before we bring you all that, the top stories we're tracking. Madras University MCA exams cancelled again today as a precautionary measure after the question paper leak exposed by NDTV Hindu.
I've reached here at 1 o'clock and I get to this shocking news that my exam got cancelled.
Two murders rock Chennai, a school teacher and a carpenter murdered in two separate incidents. It's World Population Day, and while the numbers explode across the country, Tamil Nadu, it seems, is well under control. It's the D-Day at the World Cup. The world will watch as new champions are crowned in South Africa. Will it be Spain or the Netherlands? Well, before we move into the news in detail, here are our national headlines. Mehbooba Mufti snubs the Prime Minister, and Omar Abdullah says will not attend the all-party meet to bring Kashmir under control.
I don't have the words, what it took me, how painful it was for me to, convey my inability to the Prime Minister.
The Army Chief tells NDTV that special situations require special treatment, but the Special Powers Act has been misused at times.
98% or more of these allegations, when investigated, have proved.
Government launches crackdown on radical groups after Kerala lecturer was maimed last week. The lecturer says he's ready to forgive his attackers. A day after a convent in Vadodara suspended 6 girls for using abusive language on Facebook, the suspension is revoked. And now for the top story today. After our expose, MCA exams at the Madras University cancelled today as well. Are more question papers of Madras University's distance education programs up for sale? No one's quite sure. So the university authorities decided not to take chances. A day after NDTV Hindu uncovered a question paper leak, the cancelled exams that were scheduled today. Nithala and Pratiksha report on the dilemma faced by the 152-year-old university.
A double whammy for MCA students of the Madras University this weekend. On Saturday, the oriented programming and C++ exam was cancelled after a question paper was leaked and telecast by NDTV Hindu in public interest. University authorities had assured students that other exams would continue as scheduled, but that was not to be. Ripples of the scandal highlighted by NDTV Hindu still being seen. Just 2 hours before today's exams were to begin, came this notification from authorities at the centre.
Today 2 exams, microprocessor and data structures, were scheduled to be held in the afternoon. We got a call from University of Madras at 12:15 stating that the examination has been cancelled. Cancelled examinations, the date of cancelled examinations will be notified after the rest of the examinations are over by this month end.
Varun, who works in Dubai, had come all the way only to be told that the exam had been postponed. Many other students like him were irked that university authorities had not informed them in advance, especially after what happened yesterday.
I've reached here at 1 o'clock and I get to this shocking news that my exam got cancelled. The university should have given prior information about it, but it's a very tough time for us.
நாங்கள் ரொம்ப லாங் டிஸ்டன்ஸ்லேருந்து வரோம். இந்த எக்ஸாம் இங்கே வந்ததுக்கப்புறமா தான் இந்த எக்ஸாம் கேன்சல் ஆன விஷயம் எங்களுக்கு தெரியும். இது முதல்ல எங்களுக்கு இன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணியிருந்தால் கொஞ்சம் கன்வீனியாக இருந்திருக்கும். இந்த எக்ஸாம் மறுபடியும் எப்போ கண்டக்ட் பண்ணுவாங்கன்றது தெரியல. ப்ராப்பர் இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் எங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கல, அதனால கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டமாக இருக்குது.
Academicians, however, say the university has done the right thing by postponing the exams.
If a few papers have leaked, what is the guarantee that the remaining papers would not have leaked? So the leadership has taken the right decision in cancelling the examinations, and they have to take serious steps in order to put a check at every level of the examination system.
The inquiry ordered by the Vice-Chancellor is underway, and it's the reputation of the 152-year-old university at stake. But many wonder whether the paper was leaked to spite university authorities, bringing internal politics at the university to the forefront, or whether it is a larger racket involving not just students but also the staff of the university. In Chennai with Pratiksha, Nithala, NDTV Hindu.
All right, we have with us in our studio now Dr. Kalanidhi, former Vice-Chancellor with the Anna University and a renowned academician and educationalist to talk about this entire issue in the larger context of our education system and what this points towards in our education system. Sir, but before we come to that discussion about this larger context, coming to this incident in particular, who will you blame? Because at the end of the day, it's the students who prepare hard who are at the receiving end. Who will you hold responsible for this entire mess?
Now, ultimately the responsibility lies with the Vice-Chancellor and the officials who are working below him. So they have to take onerous responsibility for the kind of leak that has taken place.
But how do you think something like this could have happened? I mean, you have worked in a big university similar to the Madras University. What are the sources from the various places from which something like this could have happened?
You see, one is the place where the question paper has been set. From there it could have got leaked. The other one is the question paper is being collected and then it is being transmitted to the printer. So normally the printers are chosen in such a way that they don't indulge in this activity normally. So therefore we don't anticipate any leakage from the printer side. But it goes from the university to the printer. So at that point they are sending it through computers. And there are possibilities for the people who are working at that level to leak out the papers.
Right, now coming to the larger context, do you think that this points towards an education system which is corrupt from the roots, which is rotting from the roots? Does this problem start right from the appointment of the vice chancellors to the intervention of the central government or the state government?
This is a disease that is prevalent not only in government universities but also in private universities. The private universities, it has not been made public, whereas the government universities, it has made public so easily by the way the question papers are leaked out and so on. So it's a larger disease that is prevailing around the country in almost all the universities, and therefore the heads of the universities will have to take the responsibility in arresting this, for which the head should take onerous responsibility, and they should also realize that there is a saying in English, small things make perfection, but perfection is not a small thing. If you want to have a perfect system, then small things which are needed to be attacked, that has to be done by the leadership at a regular point with a lot of checks and measures.
Okay, so you're talking about the leadership within the university, but what do you think about institutions like the UGC, or for that matter the state government or the central government, the ministries of education of the state and the central governments?
No, as far as the deemed universities are concerned, yes, the UGC comes into picture, because the UGC has not thought about how to monitor the examinations being conducted by the deemed universities. Whereas the state-run universities, UGC does not come into the picture. Only the vice-chancellors of the universities have the sole responsibility, and therefore they have to take care of this.
Right, talking about the central government, actually Kapil Sibal was in town recently, and we will just play a bite of him, what he was saying about the development of the education, what he feels. In fact, today, although he wasn't answering this question in the context of this issue, but let's hear him out as to what he's saying about the development of education. Let's hear him out.
Can the central government do it on its own? Education is not the enterprise of one entity or one stakeholder. It requires a community effort where all stakeholders must participate with equal vigor and passion. These stakeholders are the central government, the state government, the panchayat, the parents, the teachers, the students, civil society, the NGOs. Unless all of us get together and convince ourselves that this is something that the nation direly needs, this national mission will never succeed.
No, that statement, of course, was not made in the context of this issue, but then the larger context, I mean, what he's trying to say is it's not enough if there's just the organizations like the UGC or the central government which participate in the development of education or in maintaining our system. Civil society needs to participate. And when it comes to issues like these, how much do you think the civil society can actually participate and change the system from avoiding a mess like this?
See, his statement does not relate to this subject as a matter of fact. I don't think he is pointing to this subject of question
course
paper
not, sir,
leak but mainly the universities are meant to conduct examinations and evaluate the quality of students, and that they have to take serious note of it and do it, in which case there is no question of private participation or civil society participation. If you say civil society participation, this is how the question paper leaks takes place. So you don't introduce the civil society component into the system. That's not fair. The university will have to take stern measures, use the IT enabled services and the tools that are available with us, and make effective the tools, and then make sure that the checks and measures which we are carrying out are constantly monitored by the top leader. If that is done at all levels, there will be a fear, and they will be able to check this and then control this. It's a disease that is prevailing in all the universities.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Thanks a lot for joining us on the headlines now today. Like as you said, I think what will seal the matter is that there should be the right amount of checks and measures at the right levels, so that this kind of a mess does not happen again. Thanks a lot for joining us today, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Moving on to the other top story of the day, Chennai city witnessed 2 cold-blooded murders in a single day. The first victim, 46-year-old school teacher Manjula. A detailed probe is now underway to crack the murder of the school teacher, who was found dead with her throat slit at her residence in R.K. Nagar. The police are investigating and questioning the victim's family members, and Manjula's husband is under police interrogation. Meanwhile, 42-year-old Parani, a carpenter, was also found dead with his head smashed with a stone in Thoraipakkam. The case has been cracked with the arrest of Parani's friend, who allegedly killed him in a drunken brawl. Moving on, today is World Population Day, and while India may be ranked as the world's second most populated country, Tamil Nadu, it seems, the numbers have been well within control, all thanks to the family welfare measures implemented since the 1980s, which have been successful.
21 childbirths per 1,000 people. That's the magic number the government wants every state in the country to monitor to keep a tab on population explosion. Experts say that states like Tamil Nadu and Kerala have done well to keep the population growth rate well under control.
Birth rate of Tamil Nadu has diminished to about 16 per 1,000, which is only one step lower than Kerala, which is about 14.6 per 1,000 in 2008. The fall is still continuing and probably will touch about 15 per 1,000 in the next 1 or 2 years.
In the last decade, India has graduated from joint families to nuclear families, single parents and career-driven couples, which perhaps has stabilized the growth rate. Doctors say people have become more aware and conscious.
And they are very sensible. Even if they are not sterilized, they are family planning and they know when to have what and when to have a baby and when to control and what to do. And I'm sure the number of abortions also are coming down and they avoid pregnancy. It's definitely heading towards the right direction.
While India battles to keep population growth rate under control, experts say that educating the rural class will do wonders for helping the cause. In Chennai with Evelyn Matthew and Lokpriya, Kuku Alex for NDTV Hindu.
Well, time to slip into a short break, but on the other side, watch out when you wash dirty linen online for everyone to see, or you might end up suspended like these kids.